Hello and welcome. My name is Hannah, and I am very excited to be starting this presentation that we have for you today. My group members, Julia, Megan, and I will be teaching you about ecology through a series of PowerPoint slides that we have prepared. So our big idea today is ecology, but you might be thinking to yourself, what is ecology? I want you right now to take a few minutes and think about some ideas that come to mind when you hear the word ecology. Consider how you might define it in your own words based on what you know already. You can write down some ideas, related words, and definitions if that helps you. I'll give you a minute to brainstorm. So when we think of the word ecology, some images like these might pop into our heads. We may think about plants, the environment, animals, and all sorts of different organisms that live outside. Some may think about energy and our use of resources that we get from the environment, like our use of wind harnessed by windmills. We may also think of words that have the same roots, like ecosystem, and this is actually not too far off. These images that I have on here may seem a bit silly and pretty simple, but they will make a lot more sense once we discuss the different definitions of the word ecology. So we have two definitions here for the word ecology supported by our lovely online resource, Merriam-Webster Dictionary. So ecology can be defined as the totality or pattern of relations between organisms and their environment. And it can also be defined as a branch of science concerned with the interrelationship of organisms and their environments. So I think it's best if we tackle that first definition, because I'm sure you're probably thinking, what does all that fancy English mean? Well, for this first definition, we have the totality or pattern. And so that just basically means the whole or the sum of, and then we have of relations between organisms and their environment. So if we think about organisms, we think about living creatures. This can mean animals, this can mean plants. It's basically any living thing that occurs naturally outside. And let's just take the example of fish in a stream. So fish would be the organism, and the environment would be that stream, that body of water. So the totality or pattern of their relationship between the fish and the stream would be an ecological phenomenon or an ecological event. So for the second definition, we basically can take this first definition that we have defined already, redefined in our own words, and think about it as the study of those relations that happen between the fish in the stream or between any other living organism and their environments, or as you may know it, their habitats. So a branch of science just means that this is the study of something. So it's a scientific study concerned with those relationships that happen between the organisms and their environments or habitats.
Now we might be wondering, why is ecology important? Ask yourself these questions. What roles does ecology play in everyday life? How does learning about or understanding of ecology help people, society, the world, etc.? Ecology enriches our world, making it crucial for survival of all species. The British Ecology Society states that ecology is vital for food production, maintaining clean air and water, and sustaining biodiversity in a changing climate. It also provides a foundation for all life, no matter how large or small. Ecology is important because it provides a foundation for everyday life. There was a study done by the University of Cordoba that originated trees growing in Africa that were 50 million years old. 50 million years ago, these lagoon plants, as they call them, were the first to provide Earth with oxygen, making life livable for large animals and mammals. These trees created oxygen, as many trees for us do today. Ecology plays a very crucial role in our environment. Diversity of animals is a necessity to keep the balance among many environments around the world. Climate change challenges the biodiversity of animals. Because the Earth is increasing in temperature, warming up a little year by year, it will cause populations and species of animals of all kinds to become extinct. Science Daily explains this very concept. Dr. Piaget said that our findings highlight the urgent need for climate change mitigation by immediately and drastically reducing emissions, which could help save thousands of species from extinction.
How does ecology relate to art? How does the big idea of this relate to art? How do artists use ecology to inform their work? And how can we use ecology in our own artwork and in our own art classroom? There is a strong relationship between ecology and art for many reasons. We have depended on the earth for natural resources in order to make certain art materials. You may see this in paint pigments or ceramic clay and many other things. Art can be related to ecology in many ways, but we are going to focus on two major ways. Art made for conservation purposes or promotion of conservation. Some artists like to use recycled materials in their artwork, like Aurora Robson. She uses recycled plastic and debris to make her work. She explores the theme to show that art can be made to be beautiful even if the medium is debris or trash that has been recycled. This is just one example of her many artworks entitled Camilo. It is one of the many sculptures she has made using ocean debris as the medium. And although it is hard to see just by looking at it, it explores many different ideas related to ecology and conservation. Other artists, like Chris Jordan, may use recycled or found materials to provide a narrative for promoting ecological conservation. This is his portrait of a whale made using plastic debris found in the ocean, and it represents the danger this plastic brings to natural sea life. If you were to go up close to this work, you would be able to see tons of plastic pieces. This piece was made as a part of his series, Running the Numbers 2, Portraits of Global Mass Culture. This piece of art is not only showing that you can make artwork out of anything around you, just like Aurora Robson's work, but it also creates an image that sparks ideas of recycling and preserving our natural resources. This accomplishes connecting the big idea to artwork because it is used as the narrative as well as the medium. It is a little different from Aurora Robson's work because her artwork, it is hard to tell that her medium is recycled plastic. Before we delve into what big ideas relate to ecology, let's talk about what big ideas are. Big ideas are conceptualized themes that tie together the different parts of a lesson. Big ideas do not completely embody or explain an idea, but represent a host of concepts that form the idea. What kinds of big ideas do you think relate to ecology? Can you guys list some that may come to mind? Think about ways it connects to everyday life, even outside of the art classroom. So think about its connection to nature and your community and other ways that you can connect it to your regular life. And then you can also think about different ways it can connect to art making.
Now that you've written down some big ideas related to ecology, here are some examples. Resourceful, nature, culture, adaptation, preservation, conservation, resources, time, life cycles, aging, life and death, division, destruction, recycling, material repurposing, community, and unity. Nature is something that is seen all around us and throughout ecology. Preservation is when we protect these ecological aspects in the world. Life cycles are a big part of ecology as it keeps everything balanced. And community can be seen in ecology as we protect our environment that can bring us together as people. There are many more big ideas that are related to ecology, but this was just a few. Artists use these big ideas in their artwork to create meaning towards ecology, and you should be surprised to know the variety they showcase. Look carefully at these images. What do you see? How might this artwork relate to ecology? What is the name of the artist who made this work? Take a couple moments to contemplate. On the left, we have a mixed media artwork by John Zabrow, a modern artist. His piece titled Chroma S4 Dragon was made in 2017 and connects to ecology. John uses recycled materials such as pollution from a local mine in Ohio. He takes this pollution and makes it into paint to create his ecology art. On the right, we have Starry Night by Vincent van Gogh. Oh no, I lied. This is actually a sculptural piece by Chris Jordan titled Gaia 2, made in 2011. This is actually made out of 50,000 cigarette lighters. This number is equal to the estimated number of pieces of floating plastic in every square mile in the world's oceans.
Here we have some historical art that explores our big ideas related to ecology. First, we have The Crucified Land by Alexander Hogue, made in 1939. It explores the effects of climate change on American land over time. Look carefully at this image. What do you see? How might this artwork relate to ecology and our big ideas? Most of Hogue's art relates to ecology, especially this one, because he mainly painted landscapes, which tend to represent direct snapshots of natural life. This work also relates to our big idea because it sparked future change in ecological conservation. And to reiterate, what is the name of the artist who made this work? Then we have another historical ecological artist, William Guy Wall. Most of his works are landscape paintings, and this one is a contribution to an art series, Hudson Rising, and it sheds light on human interaction with nature. His artwork from this series shows the different stages of conservation of the Hudson River, and these historical pieces have inspired conservationists to make changes to preserve the Hudson River today. The artwork is entitled New York Palisades, and it was made in 1820. What do you see in this image? How is it different than what the Hudson River looks like today? And lastly, how does this artwork relate to the big idea of ecology? This piece relates to our big idea because it shows the untouched state of a natural area in the past, and it sparked environmental change in today's time. One more time to reiterate, what is the name of the artist who made this work? These works, along with contemporary pieces like Chris Jordan's work and Aurora Robson's work, can inspire us today to make different art pieces that inspired by the big idea and also promote conservation. One way we can do this is by making our own paint brushes and paint pigments. We can make these by using different materials we find outside or around us, maybe even in the art classroom. Another way is to go Aurora Robson's route and use recycled plastic or debris to make a sculpture.
So based on what we've learned, I have a few questions that you can answer on your own to check your understanding. So in your own words, I want you to write down your own definition of ecology, and then describe why ecology is important and how it relates to art. Also think about the names of the artists that we learned about and how they relate to ecology. I also want you to write down 2 big ideas that relate to ecology, more if you remember more. And that's all we have for you today. Thank you so much for listening to our presentation, and we hope that you enjoyed our lesson on ecology.